All right, let's get to your game this weekend. Houston and TCU. Houston's dream season, really. It's been better than anybody could have expected. How has Willie Fritz turned this program around in just 2 seasons?
Listen, I'm essentially going to foreshadow what my open is going to be for the game. Nobody expected anything from Houston. But when you have a quarterback, you have a chance, period. That's where it stops. And this quarterback, Connor Wegman, who I coached at the Elite 11, never saw him being the rusher that he's become. He is one of 5 players in all of college football to have at least 2,100 passing yards, at least 400 rushing yards, to go along with at least 27 touchdowns. That's rare air, right? There's only 5 guys in all of college football that's doing it, and he's able to do it. And it's so weird because he's not this big, giant guy. However, he's remained healthy. And you know, when you get to the end of seasons in college football and even NFL football, the more healthy teams are the ones that perform well. And so it starts with the quarterback. Obviously, there are other pieces and different things like that, and Willie Fritz is doing a great job. But you start here. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance, and they've got one. What about him as a quarterback has allowed him to figure out running the football and becoming a dual threat? I mean, you played quarterback. You could run the football. What is that part of the maturation process, or was it something he worked to do, you think? So when he was at the Elite 11, he could throw, obviously. He wouldn't be there if he couldn't. But the one thing I was super impressed was his attitude, his competitive fire, his competitive juice. And sometimes that's all you need to be an adequate runner. For me, I don't think he's able to go line up at wide receiver and be super dynamic, right? I don't think he's that type of athlete. But however, when you have an attitude that I'm going to get it done, right, it's hard to stop you. And when I was talking to the TCU coaching staff, they said that he's very similar to Max Duggan, where Max Duggan, I mean, he's a good athlete. He's not the greatest athlete in the world, but it's his attitude and his willingness and his desire, his determination to get it done, no matter how you got to get it done. And I think that's a lot of what Connor Wegman has. Last question for you. You mentioned talking to the TCU coaches. How do they get things back on track this week? Yeah. I think that they have to get back to the way they play football. They've been riddled with injuries, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. And I think it's really affected the entire team, right? Because their quarterback, Josh Hoover, can make all the throws. He's even added the dimension of running the football this year. But without number 2, Kavorian Barnes, they have really started to try to find a way to replace that production. And for Josh Hoover, it forces him to start to press, right? And do more than what he's asked to do, which sometimes gets you in trouble when you're the quarterback. So the idea for them is to get back to everybody just do their job, and specifically Josh Hoover. You can't do it all for everybody. You do your job, and you have to trust that everybody else is going to do it, and they have to make up the slack.